Hello everybody, Texas Man here. I hope that you guys are all having a spectacular day. If you guys would, please give this video a thumbs up if you guys do really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit the bell notification button and select all for all notifications. That way you guys do not miss out on future videos and streams here on the channel. And this is going to be the finale talk of me talking about Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 3. This is going to be my final thoughts, final opinions. And if you guys would let me know, do you guys agree or disagree with me in the comments below? It'd be greatly appreciated. So, if you guys haven't yet, I've already reviewed every single episode of Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 3, and I do have that in the playlist that has everything for Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, and Mandalorian. So go check out my reviews for every single episode. I should have every episode, including the finale of Season 3, out by the time this video comes out as well. And I also want to say I will be streaming and covering Star Wars Jedi Survivor on launch day, so look forward to that stream when that does happen. And I will say, the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to Season 3 is that I think you should watch it all at once. I think Season 3 is something that you need to just binge watch. It needs to be something you watch all 8 episodes, at least all at once. If you can't do that, I would recommend that you watch episodes 1 through 6 and then watch 7 and 8 together, because episodes 7 and 8 kind of is more or less one episode split into 2 parts. That's just how it's structured storyline wise. And I think that if you're able to binge watch all of the season, you'll be able to understand things better and appreciate things better and just have a general more enjoyment of the season instead of watching it episodically, because I rewatched the entire season all at once, and although I knew what was going to happen, I felt like it was much more enjoyable instead of me being like, oh, that was boring. But if you're able to binge watch it, you're able to kind of get over that, and then you can understand why certain boring things do happen. But they still are boring when they do happen. I want to stress that. They are boring when they happen, but they're not as boring when you understand things. And unfortunately, I'm going to be talking mostly negative about this season. I mean, there are some good things that happen throughout this season, and I've already discussed that in my episodic reviews, so I don't want to repeat myself and make this video, 3 hours long. So the next thing I want to talk about is that a lot of the concepts, a lot of the fan theories never came true. Let's just discuss the fact that a lot of people's thoughts, opinions, fan theories that were going on line, none of them came to fruition, which I guess is, them, subverting expectations. Thank you, Disney, again. But we never get anything to come to fruition. Like, episode 7 is literally titled The Spies. That's plural. In the entire show, we only have one spy that's working for Moff Gideon to be revealed. So we don't get the spies reveal. So unless that's like a setup for something happening in a future show or season 4, the spies is a very deceiving title for an episode, especially for an episode titled The Spies, where there's not a lot of spy-like things happening. It's more like, hey, we're getting close to the finale. Let's have big shootouts and big revelations. But we already knew who that spy was that was working for Moff Gideon that's inside of the New Republic. But, there was concepts and theories that there was a Mandalorian spy working within the Mandalorian ranks for Moff Gideon, and that Gideon and the Armorer were Darth Maul loyalists, which would explain why Gideon and the Armorer's Beskar helmets had those points on their helmets. But no, that went nowhere, hasn't been explored whatsoever. This season has too much, and I want to stress that, too much filler, too many Easter eggs, too many side plots, side characters that just add little to nothing to the major story or characters. Like, for example, the pirates, they show up and they're just immediately wiped out. And I'm just like, I We get no backstory to the captain. They're just all taken out with ease by the Mandalorians. And speaking of the Mandalorians, the show doesn't focus on the Mandalorian aspect of the show like season 1 and 2 did. This season focuses more on Bo-Katan retaking Mandalore and Gideon's return, rather than Din Djarin and Grogu going on adventures and exploring the galaxy. Grogu did not have a purpose in this season. Like, I'm sorry, and I know I love Grogu. I've got, hats and merchandise in my room. I like Grogu as a character. But Grogu being in this season was pure pointless. He didn't grow as a character at all. He didn't learn how to use the Force. He didn't talk. He didn't interact with any characters and do anything meaningful until the finale. And even in the finale, all he does is uses the Force to save Bo-Katan and Din Djarin from being burned alive. That's his extent of meaningful purpose in this entire season. The rest of the season, he's either doing Force jumps, playing darts, or he's just completely sidelined and absent from the show. Like, I think there's an episode or two within season 3 where he's not even in the episode for 1 second. Big problem. Big problem. Okay? So, him being brought back in the Book of Boba Fett, and then bringing him, and then continuing him to be in season 3 Mandalore, pointless. He should have just stayed with Luke Skywalker at the end of season 2, and we should not have ever seen him again. The problem is that Lucasfilm and Disney know that Grogu sells merchandise, and Grogu is a Jedi, so they can use him as a plot device, as a convenient plot device for writing to make it so they have somebody that has the Force to save the day at the last second and to just be something cute and fun for the kids. But that's not what The Mandalorian was ever supposed to be about. It was supposed to be a little more dark and edgy. Grogu, yeah, sells merchandise, but it's just like, when your time has come to leave the show, which I think Grogu did at the end of season 2, leave. And he just doesn't have a purpose, a rhyme, and a reason for existing in this show anymore. Next thing I want to talk about, they introduced way too many characters. And the characters that they introduced in this season are not fully given meaningful backstories or character arcs that matter. Like, let's talk about that one episode that basically just... Oh, wait a minute. That's every single episode that has tons of Easter eggs and references. Like, the one where they introduce Zeb in live action. And then, there's Deborah Chow and Dave Filoni. And Dave Filoni showed up twice in this season. Twice he is in here. Or the episode that has the actor from Back to the Future. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. But the actor from Back to the Future is in this season. And same thing with some famous rapper. And Jack Black is in it. And I'm just like, they're there, but they don't add anything to the overall narrative. They don't add anything to the overall story. Like, if you guys remember an episode, I think it was episode 6 of season 1, the group that goes to break somebody out of a New Republic transport prison ship. And then Mayfield, that's his name, Mayfield. We see him in season 1. Then he comes back in season 2, and he actually, he grows as a character. That was cool. But, like, there's tons of characters, the pirates, Jack Black's Easter egg character and whatnot. They're just there to get a paycheck. They're just there to do one thing and be a one-note person and character, and they don't do anything really meaningful. And because of that, season 3 feels like a jumping off point for future shows, such as, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, Acolyte, the upcoming Star Wars movies. It does not feel like a meatful season of Star Wars. It just feels like we need to just keep the train rolling. Gotta pump out content because that's what the Disney Plus subscribers expect is content. Get ready for next amount of content instead of it being meaningful content. It's just there. And that's a big problem. How Gideon gets killed off if he's dead. I mean, I didn't expect to see him at all anymore after what happened in season two's finale, but I guess they can't come up with any new villain for the Mandalorian. Like Moff Gideon is the Mandalorian villain. It's just like if Gideon comes back from the grave. Seriously, if they resurrect Moff Gideon for any future Star Wars projects, like Mandalorian Season 4, I'm going to be like, okay, so you're just literally pulling a Rise of Skywalker Palpatine move. Like, you can't think of anything new and original? Like, it better be Thrawn. Well, at least that would be new to see for this live-action show. But how Gideon got killed off was extremely unsatisfying. And same goes for how Bo-Katan retook Mandalore. Like, the ceremony, the lighting of the forges being turned back on, I was just like, okay, but she didn't defeat Moff Gideon, and technically it was a ship that just blew up, and the flames that got ignited from it killed Gideon, so Bo-Katan really didn't kill the leader of Mandalore. So I'm sorry, but that doesn't equate properly. Season 3 just felt short. It felt rushed. It could have honestly been a movie. Honestly could have just been 4 episodes, maybe even 3. Like I said, there's just a lot of filler. And the ending of season 3, where Grogu becomes Din Grogu, which I thought was already established in season 1, but whatever. So Din Grogu and Din Djarin, they head to Navarro and they settle down as father and son. And I think it's a great way to end season 3. However, season 4 has been confirmed, and the way season 3 ends, it will allow them to do a season 4 for Din Grogu and Din Djarin to go on more adventures. But if we don't get season 4 because of the negative reception season 3 gets, I think the show ending the way it did with season 3 would be a satisfying conclusion. I mean, it does a good enough job teasing things, but it does close the book on a lot of plot lines. I just didn't like how it was done. It felt very rushed. It felt very forced. It felt very corporate. And season 3 is going to be like a watch once and done thing. I've rewatched Mandalorian season 1 and 2 numerous times, countless times. I still have fun rewatching the Clone Wars and Rebels show. But season 3 of Mandalorian is going to be one of those things where I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll watch it for people that haven't seen it. I guess I'll watch it if I'm going to do a Mandalorian marathon, because I have a feeling that you're going to need to have watched season 3 to understand Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, and obviously Ahsoka, because it sets up things for the Ahsoka show with at least Grand Admiral Thrawn's return. But overall, I'm going to give season 3 complete package a 6 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you guys agree or disagree? And I will be covering the Ahsoka show. I don't know if I'm just going to do it as one video once it's all done or episodically. I haven't decided yet. Just depends on other things that I'm going to be reviewing here on the channel. But I'm going to cover it here on the channel. So look forward to that. All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.